My name is Eileen. I apologize for my voice today. I don't know where it's gone. So I'm a senior. I'm studying economics. I'm graduating this semester. The title of my presentation is Designing Your Life. Basically, I'll go through some of the classes I've learned and what I've learned from them, and then I'll kind of gather it all together at the end and talk about how it pertains to designing your life. So the first course I took was Sociology 121 with Professor Sonia Ivester, Innovation and Entrepreneurship in a Social and Cultural Context. What it was about was really learning about what it takes to be an entrepreneur. We interviewed entrepreneurs that are local in the Bay Area. We learned about what it takes to make an innovation center and an entrepreneurial center. But I think the one quote that I really took from this class, and this isn't an exact quote, so I hope she's not too upset, but she said the most common innovator and entrepreneur is not some young genius tech guru, they're your next door neighbor. And the reason why this really stuck with me is because it reminded me that anyone can innovate and anyone can create. And that's really what pushed me forward into really pursuing this course thread. So just a little bit about me. I'm a senior studying economics. It took me a really long time to decide what I wanted from Berkeley and what I wanted to do. So in that process, I joined a lot of different clubs. So one of the clubs I joined was Net Impact. We are an undergraduate consulting club. We believe in bringing innovation to business, in bringing responsibility to business and innovation to responsibility. And what we do is obviously consulting projects, so we're consulting for clients and we're designing solutions for those clients. And after doing all this work, which I really love to do in Net Impact, I wondered to myself, why can't I have this in school? Like, why can't I have this in my classes? And I realized that I hadn't really pursued design, which I really enjoyed. And so this semester was when I really went for it. And this New Year's, I made my New Year's resolutions, and number 3 was to up the creativity in my life. And that's really how I moved forward and went into a lot of these project-based classes that I will now talk about. So my second course was IEOR 170 with Professor Ken Goldberg. It's called Industrial Design and Human Factors. We did a lot of different assignments in class, one of which was the one that Ian mentioned earlier about building the new emergency response system for UC Berkeley. But one assignment that really stuck with me in this class was this assignment. Students will develop individual design notebooks that illustrate good and bad design concepts learned in class. At first I thought, I'm just gonna do this at the end of the semester. It's gonna be something that I don't pay attention to. But I started carrying around a design notebook with me everywhere I went, and I started noticing all these different designs. This is not a great picture, but my design notebook is basically filled with different designs from everywhere in my life. So these are 2, you can't really see this one, it's like a yolk fish, and then it's a salt and pepper shaker. So I noticed it because I'm always in the kitchen cooking and all of that stuff. But what I started to realize was it wasn't just products that I was looking at, but it was like also interactions, logos, websites. It was a lot of different things that you wouldn't mention before. So for example, the Venice Beach, you can't see it that well, but at first I thought it was like a really bad design. It's a toilet paper holder that they have in Venice Beach, and I was like, this is really annoying. I have to take a really long time to take the toilet paper off. But then I realized it was for a purpose. It was so that people weren't wasting that toilet paper and leaving it all over the ground and then making the beach a mess. And so as I continued doing this design notebook, I realized that I wasn't just looking at the things that I liked and that I didn't like about each of these designs. I was also trying to apply them to other objects or other interactions for the different courses that I was taking. And so from this, I learned that design is everywhere. It is in everything that we touch, we interact with, in our interactions with other people, in our classes, and it reminded me that I can look anywhere for design inspiration. So the third course I took was UGBA 190T with Professor Clark Kellogg. It's Innovation in Design, Thinking in Business. And now this was a project-based course where at the beginning of the semester, we were told to make a bug list of all the things that bothered us. And then we presented one of those from our bug list to the class, and then we formed teams. My team ended up choosing a food container solution, and so I have a video to play really quickly of part of our solution. I don't actually know if the sound will work, but I'm hoping the sound on my computer will be enough. Or do I just plug it in? Okay, cool. Awesome. I can replay the video. Should it work now? This is what we ended up framing our problem as, and we really didn't, at first we just thought, oh, the problem is just like Tupperware isn't the greatest. It just sort of sucks and no one likes to use it. But we really didn't like delve deeper until we did customer interviews and prototypes. And like we talked to like people about what they ate for lunch. We were a little creepy when we were observing people and taking pictures of their lunch. But they really gave us some like really great insights on what exactly they had a problem with. And we learned that our original solutions actually weren't that great, and it really wasn't what they looked for. And we also got inspirations from like the prototypes that like people made in class. Like Sam is showing like a salad shooter, and then something about gold. I don't remember exactly what it was. But we really learned that you have to talk to your customers, because all problems with anything are really human-centered, and to solve that problem, you have to know what that problem is. So that's my second lesson learned, that people are absolutely essential. So my fourth course was ME 110 with Professor Alice Agagino, who's sitting in the back, which is new product development. And so it's another project-based course where we had to either fix a bug or, in my team's case, create the next digital sensorial experience. In case you guys are like, wait, what? How do you do that? Don't worry, because that's exactly what my team thought. And we were really stuck on what kind of solution we were going to come up with. We were really confused, and we didn't really get anywhere at the beginning until we were pushed to start thinking outside of the box and to get past our comfort zones. So these are a few of the pictures of our original first few ideas. For example, there's like a box that instead of video chatting on a screen, you have a hologram of the person's face. Or you can't really see it in the top, but it's like masks that you wear. So it's the idea that you say, I wish you were here, but instead you wear a mask and they can see and sense everything where you are. Or in the top corner, there's the touch tank, where it's the idea that you can manipulate the way people feel things with sound. And then so like museums can use it, and like kids can touch like a shark without having the danger of actually touching a shark. We came up with tons and tons of ideas. This isn't really readable, but this is just one of our Excel sheets of the hundreds of ideas that we really thought about. But the thing is what we realized was that the more creative we were, the more successful we were, and the more people reacted to them. In fact, one of the things that we presented at our midterm trade show was the virtual touch tank. This is one of my team members, Patrick, with our low-fidelity prototype of a touch tank, which is basically just a pillow pet wrapped in a box and gift wrapping paper. But people really reacted to it. They thought it was a really great idea. They saw how it was feasible and how it was educational. And even though this isn't exactly what we're presenting, and if you want to see what we're actually presenting, you can come to our trade show, which is tomorrow from 11 to 2, so in the Haas iLab. Yeah, shameless plug. You can see it. But what we learned was that creativity is absolutely necessary in the design process, especially in this case. So the question is how can we use these lessons to design our own lives? And what I've gained is, for the present, if we take that everything is designed and that there are so many different aspects of design in our lives that we can manipulate those things to be something that's more advantageous towards us. We can take the things that we see every day and we can apply it to our lives. And also, so that was the first lesson. And then the second lesson is that we can interact with the people who are so necessary to solving human-centered design problems, and we can work together with them to design different aspects of our lives and other people's lives. And then for the future, like the sensorial experience, we really have to be creative. We have to think big and never stop dreaming. With all the new technology that's coming out, or even taking a step back from technology, there's so many things that we can do with design and all of that. And if I have to say that there was the one thing that I really learned from the human-centered design course thread was that I'm not limited by my major or anything, and everything is really interdisciplinary, and that what I want to do in the future, it all just depends on how I design my own life. Oh, I'm done.